everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 build video. My name is Ashley, for those of you who have not met me yet, and I do Sims 4 base game build videos, so you don't need any expansion packs or any add-ons to use my houses, just the base game will do and you're good to go. And today we are making a contemporary college loft. So it is a 3-bedroom and 2-bathroom home, and it can fit 4 lovely Sims in this house. And it is on a 30 by 20 lot and costs just over 100,000 simoleons, or I think it's 101,000 simoleons, but it depends on, I guess, where you place the house, like which lot you place it on. So some key features of this house is it is a loft style, so like indoor balcony kind of deal, you know, loft. And it has a rooftop patio, so you can kind of get a good idea of how this house is, like the vibe of this house. It's definitely like a student college party house, so this should be a really fun one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so since this is a college loft build, I thought I'd shed some light on my kind of living situation back when I was in college. So, I talked about it a little bit in my last video, my first video ever, so you can watch that if you want to, but that was my first year res. So in first year, I did not live in a house. I lived in a dorm. As most freshmen do, you live in a college dorm with like a bunch of other freshmen living in the residence with you, and it's a lot of fun, and you know, you kind of all get assigned to a house and or a residence, and yeah, that's where you make all your friends, etc., etc. But in my second year, or in my sophomore year, you move out of the dorm and you have to go find your own housing, whether you rent a house or a townhouse or an apartment, or you know, you move off campus and go live downtown and have to commute to campus. You know, like you can all find some friends and go out and rent a place together. So that was one option. And then the other option is you can live on campus housing. So it's not freshman housing. It's like for older students. So if you're 19 and older, you can live on these campus housing. And everyone always wanted to live on campus residence because it was cheaper, because, you know, it was regulated by, you know, the university, so you don't have to deal with like scummy landlords and stuff like that. So it was relatively cheaper, and all the utilities were included, so internet was included, heating, whatever. It's all a flat rate. So anyways, it's cheaper. Everyone wants to live on these campus housing, and it's also like central, so it's always in like the best locations. So me and my roommate from first year, who I talked about in my last video, we ended up getting one of these brand new campus university housing buildings, and it was like a high-rise right in the middle of campus. We lived on the 10th floor. It was brand new. It was awesome, and like there was a super long wait list for this house, or this high-rise, but we ended up getting it, so we were super lucky. So our rent was relatively cheaper than if you were to go and rent from some landlord on a house or something. So that was that. But then we had some friends, and this is where this funny story comes in. So we had some friends who, and they were living in a house, or they rented a house. No, it was more like a townhouse. No, it was more like an apartment. It was like an apartment, but like a low-rise apartment, like 3 stories only, a 3-story apartment. So they were renting out this apartment, and it was supposed to be a 2-bedroom apartment. So it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and they happened to squish a 3rd guy in there. So to give you an idea, this apartment was like pretty nice because most of the housing, or most of the accommodation on my campus was relatively new, so a lot of like the houses and the apartments around my campus were like pretty nice, so they were also pretty expensive. So I think these guys were paying like $1,000 plus per month, Canadian dollars. They're spending over $1,000 per month on this, each on their accommodation. So it was a 2-bedroom, but then we went over for the first time, I remember, and there was a 3rd guy living there. And we're kind of like, oh, that's weird. Like, I thought this was only a 2-bedroom place. So it turns out that this 3rd guy was living in a closet. He was living in a closet. So because rent is so expensive, and housing in general is so expensive, and some college kids, they can't afford to be paying $1,000 per month on housing. So this guy, made do with what he had, and he was living in a closet. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but picture a double mattress, a double or a twin, no, not a twin, like a double. It's like a little bit bigger than a twin. Just slid into a closet, and it fit perfectly in between the walls. Like, there was no space or gap on either side of the mattress in between the wall. Like, it was just a wall. Like, it's like Harry Potter, exactly like that. And he just slid the mattress in, and that was his bed. And there was no outlet, so he couldn't charge his phone. There was an overhead light, but there was no room for a dresser, no side table, no nothing. Like, it was just 4 walls and a mattress on the floor. So you'd open the door, and the mattress was right there by your feet. So he was living in a closet, and the awesome thing about this, for him at least, was that he only had to pay $200 a month. $200 a month, and he didn't have to pay any utilities, I don't think. Or maybe I don't know. I didn't ask their rental agreement or anything, but he only paid $200 a month, and he was living in a closet. So that was crazy. And my point for that story is, when I was building this house, I really kept that in mind, that, when you are in college, or when you're a sophomore or a junior or a senior, and you are living with people, you're not going to get these super extravagant, nice places and have like an office and a den and a workout room and stuff. Like, you are most likely going to be converting offices and solariums and dens and even closets into bedrooms for your friends, because the more people that live in a house, the cheaper the rent is, and then you can split all the utilities, and it's just cheaper. And college students are poor, so you make do with what you have. So when I was making this build, I was going to make that little downstairs area in the corner a office, because, it made sense. It looked like a good office space, a lot of natural light, big windows. So I was going to make that into an office. But then, I thought back to that story, and I thought, no, this would not be an office if this was a college house. They would definitely turn that into a bedroom, fit another person into the house. So I decided to make it into a bedroom, and I think it turned out super nice. Like, honestly, it's a decent sized bedroom. Like, it has a desk in it. Like, I would not complain if I lived in that room. Definitely better than the closet. So I thought that was really nice, and it turned out really nicely. And then I kept that in mind also when I made the upstairs. So typically with a loft style house, the upstairs loft part is just like the one bedroom. It would just be like you go up to the loft, and that whole upper part is just your bedroom. But I decided to make it into 2 bedrooms, or put 2 beds up there essentially. So there's no walls, no doors to separate them, but they are on opposite sides. So there is some element of privacy there, but it's technically not 2 rooms. But I was thinking back to the whole, broke college kid thing, like, that's probably what they would do. No one would have like that entire space to themselves. So I thought that was a lot nicer to have 2 beds up there, and then you could have more Sims living there. And it was a bit more realistic in my opinion. So I thought that part is really nice, and it's also super fun. What I also love about the build is how that far side where the kitchen is, it's just a huge, large wall that extends all the way up to the ceiling. So there's super high ceilings and tons of natural light into this build. And of course, I have the open concept kind of living room to dining room to kitchen area. So it is super, super contemporary, super modern, and super young feeling. So I really, really love that, and I think that they could definitely throw some really, really good parties on this downstairs floor. Definitely good for entertaining, and the open concept feel just makes the floor plan feel a lot bigger, because the floor plan really isn't too big, considering it is only on a 30 by 20 lot, and it doesn't even take up very much of it. So that open concept really opens up the space, and I think that they can have a lot of nice parties here. But the other place that they can have a lot of nice parties is the rooftop patio. So the rooftop patio is such a cool feature. I definitely wish that I had this rooftop patio in real life. But I don't, unfortunately. I have a little patio, on my little balcony because I live downtown, but I don't have a rooftop patio like this, not like this. So, you know, has, like, I tried to make it really cozy with the little seating area in the corner, as well as the barbecue and some tables to, you know, entertain. And I also did add a bar and outdoor lighting and a stereo for music, so they can have like some legit parties up here. I don't know why I forgot to do that in the build part. Silly me, but I did add it off camera, and you will see in the screenshots that I do add it. So that will be very, very fun. You will see also in the screenshots that I did change the colors of some of the exterior parts. So how the kind of like floor or like that kind of paneling around the house is like white, or see, the thing is, white in The Sims 4 looks yellow. So I didn't really like that in the end, so I did change it to like this dark gunmetal charcoal color, and it kind of just looks looks darker, but it just looks a lot more sleek, and I think it looks a lot more polished. So I do add some changes off camera, and you will see it in the screenshots at the end. I think it looks a lot nicer. Well, that concludes our contemporary college loft build today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below what you think I should build next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if this is our first time meeting and you want to be friends, or you want to see more weekly base game Sims 4 build videos. I upload once per week at the same time every week, so I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.